guest today in the house. I'm going to introduce himself, which I already know who I am. I'm John Cochran. I'll let my guest introduce himself.
Yo, Brian Patrick, aka Paper from Fly Paper Customs. We do custom sneakers, murals, clothing brands, things like that. Just keep the style up in the community and things like that of that nature. So,
Okay.
my boy today, he's gonna ask me some questions and whatnot, and yeah, we're gonna go through it like that.
Okay. So we'll get straight into it. What made you do customization? Like, and came with the name. What made you come with the name, the ideal, and what's behind it?
All right, which one do you want first? You want the name first? Do you want why?
It's all just explain to the people. Whatever you got from me, guy.
So, well, I've always been a sneakerhead since I was in high school. A lot of people, they be like, I've been a sneakerhead since I was like a kid. No, you hadn't.
Nah.
Anyway, we're not going to get to that. But, I used to work at Hit Sports in high school. That's how I grew my appreciation for sneakers. Plus, I used to get them for dirt cheap back then.
Right.
My discount. When I got a little bit older, I started seeing shoes on the internet that you couldn't get in the store.
Right.
So I was just like, hey, man, I wonder how I can get a hold of those, because I never did like the order shoes.
Right.
And, I didn't really trust the internet like how I trust it today. But started my second job at Intercall in West Point, Georgia. A lot of folks might remember that. At that point, I started cleaning shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was just like, I started getting into customs because, again, I started seeing a lot of shoes that people couldn't just go out to the store and get. So I saw that they were customized. So I was like, oh, shit. Like, I used to draw stuff back in school. Let me try my hand at it.
Right.
Tried my hand at it, and I was still dope.
Yeah.
So I just put my two passions together, and I just became a custom sneaker artist at that point.
Okay.
The name, a lot of people might not know this, but I used to rap.
Right. That's where I know you from, the rapping.
Yeah.
Well, I know you before rapping, but rapping, I knew Fly Guys rapping,
Yeah. So I had a group called Fly Music.
Right.
My rap name was Paperboy.
Right.
So I just put the two names together, Fly Paper.
There you go.
It stuck.
Sound good.
Ironically.
Right. It's what it is, know what I'm saying? But like in that case, like with you being an entrepreneur where we come from, like location in our town we're from, do you feel like you get the support that you should get, and how do people look at you as being from childhood to you now? You get judged? Because I feel like I get judged sometimes for what I do. I wonder you feel the same way.
In certain aspects, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say that I don't feel like I get as much support as I should or once did get it.
Right.
Because a lot of people are like, what's it called? It's kind of like that out of sight, out of mind.
Right. Yeah.
If they see you every day, they're gonna support you, or because you're kind of like in arm's reach.
Yeah.
If they don't, they kind of like
branch away from
branch away from you and stuff like that. And then you got the people who know you, and they kind of feel like, I know where you came from. I know him personally.
Yeah.
And you get
that's what I face. Yeah, that's what I face. Yeah. So I understand that.
So do I feel like I get the support that I should get? I don't feel like anybody really just feels like they get the full support that they should get.
Right.
Period. But at the same time, I know I'm going to get as much as I put into it. That's why I try to put as much into it as possible.
Right.
And whatever I do get out of it, I'm thankful for.
Right.
And I just try to keep going based off of that. I don't worry about really who do or don't support.
Right.
Especially the don'ts. The do's, I take that back. I do appreciate the support that I do get.
Right.
The ones that I don't get, I know that, you might not like it or you might like it, but you don't know how to go about coming to me about it and supporting it.
Right.
Because some people feel like if I'm not supporting this person monetary, it's not support.
Right.
I don't think that way. Period.
No.
My whole thing is, if you see one of my posts and you like my post, if you interact with my post, if you share my stuff to people who might support me monetary, support me, cool.
Right.
Hell, I even look at it like this. Even if somebody might be hating and say something to somebody that might just spark somebody's interest, then man, you go check it out and see what you're looking at.
You benefit from it.
What are you talking about? I still might benefit from it because their taste might not be the same as that other person's taste that they're talking to.
Right.
So, yeah.
And then I come like, do you get say for instance, your prices?
Yeah.
And people they'll go spend like this amount for these type of shoes, but when they come to you because they may know you or they don't want to pay you, like, oh no, I feel like I'm not paying Do that irk, like me personally, that irks me when people are trying to lowball me. Do they get to you as much as they get used to? Okay.
It doesn't as much anymore because I know my mindset now.
Right.
Like I have a few stories. Like it was back when I had my first Instagram. Oh yeah, follow me on Instagram too at PC Sneakers with a Z at the end, no S with a Z at the end.
Z, like you said, Z.
Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm trying to get my followers back up because Instagram's on some fuck shit. But anyway, this guy wrote me on my old Instagram, and he wanted a pair of shoes that I did that were called pop art.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it is like kind of like a comic book strip looking type deal, but it has like the polka dots and different colors and stuff in it, and it has like a very, very dramatic like face on it.
Right.
Like sometimes the faces are like has tears on it. Sometimes it's just like super, just like expressive.
Yeah.
But the guy wanted a pair, and for that particular shoe, I'm not gonna put the price out because it might scare some people. Because all of my prices aren't the same. It's really based off of what you want.
Right.
It's custom, so I don't have a set price.
Okay.
But the guy was like, "Yo, how much do you want for that pair right there?" And I was like, "If you want that pair exactly, it would be this price right here." And he was like, "Hey, can you do it for cheaper than that?" And I was like, "No, because if I'm gonna do it for you, then you got to pay for what you want." To be honest. He was like, "All right, well," still trying to get me to lowball my price and everything. Yeah. He had on a Dior shirt in the picture. And I was like, "How much did you pay for that Dior shirt?" He was like, "Oh, I paid $400 for this shirt." And I was just like, "So you paid $400 for a T-shirt from people that you don't know,
right?
And you don't know me from a stick in the mud, but you're actually having access to me where you can actually contact me, the person who's actually putting their hands into this, getting their hands dirty, purchasing all the stuff, and you're complaining about a price for me that I gave you." And if you were continually like a client or something like that, hell, I might throw you a discount too. Because I do that for people as well too. And a lot of people don't know that because they just get caught up on the price, but you're not looking at the back end of what the other person has to do.
Right. A
lot of people who aren't business minded, even some people who are business minded, they think that they can try to like downplay somebody else because it's somebody else.
Right.
But I ended up blocking the guy because I ended up blocking him just off the simple fact like I don't really take disrespect.
Right. I understand
because I feel like that's disrespectful.
It is.
And what was it? I had a face-to-face interaction with somebody before too. I've been doing this a long time. This is back when people were like lining up outside of the stores to get Jordans.
Yeah.
This is also back when I was just like having like cardboard business cards too. So I was in the car. I had just got my Camaro. So me and my wife were out one morning, top down. And what was it? Was it City Gear? It was City Gear over there by Walmart in Opelika. So people lined up. I forgot what drop it was, but I knew it was from Jay's. So I knew whoever was out there, they were spending like $200 or more. I'm like, all right, if somebody's spending that much on some shoes that look like everybody else,
my point.
You'll spend some money to look kind of different.
Exactly.
So I went out there. I just started like passing out my cards down the line. I get to the last person in the line. She was like, "So how much do you charge?" And I was just like, "It really just depends on what you want." So she was like, "How much do you charge for the ones you got on?" And at this point, I had on a pair that I call What the Babes. Like it was just a whole bunch of babe camo, but in different colors.
Right.
And it looked different on every panel of the Air Forces, but it all flowed together.
Yeah.
This shape will turn into a different color on this panel, so on and so forth. So I told her the price, and she was just like, "Well, that's a little bit too high for me." And I thought about it, and I was just like, I might not be for you, but still, like, just take my information. Somebody might be for me that you might know. Just
exactly.
Long term.
Exactly.
I get in the car, and that same exact thing that I said earlier about you might want to pay just about the same price, but look a little bit different. That exact thing popped in my head that moment. I said, "This lady is sitting right there. She just told me that my price was too high, but you're about to pay Jordan." The exact same thing.
Exactly. That name and that brand, that's what sells. Like, and it's like if everybody takes to it, people are gonna buy what everybody else is doing. but they're so scared to be different. They don't want to pay to be different, and that's what I see. Like people all approach me when I sell my clothes, they be like, "We can get what you got on." I said, "Y'all don't want to pay the prices. What the art that I put in myself wear, y'all not gonna pay the price that had the material I put into myself. Y'all don't want to pay the prices." So people don't understand that they want to just look, but they want to be like everybody else instead of being exactly. And I don't get that. I think I have these the first pair of kicks you did for me. Exactly. Still got it.
I forgot all about these.
Yeah, then the first kicks you did for me. I met you at Sharma Day and picked them up.
I forgot all about these.
The Valley Ram. I said I need some Valley Ram. I was doing a video, but I didn't even do the video. But I went to the Automata Day down for Valley. And people was going stupid crazy. Like, this dude got the same shoes. Jordan not make Valley Ram shoes. I said, my boy Fly did these for me. Like, people was going crazy over these kicks. I got like some Alabama. I got like 4 pair of lower lives. Yeah, so I say, my wife made me keep some of them in the house. These the one got kicked out the house. They're like, keep out here.
Put those back in the house.
Yeah. But yeah, man. But that's people for you. So, and I noticed that like I said, I knew him before even his customization because we came from the same hood neighborhood. How you want to dress it? And,
you knew me when I was knee high to a pea high.
Yeah,
since I was a jit.
Yeah. And so we study the same religion, like Jehovah. And I know you may get criticized. I got criticized coming up. I remember I'm gonna tell you a story. I had a meal with Jehovah, and I was at Highlight for like 3 weeks. I was in the middle of hours with nothing with female, and this older lady, she was beside me. So she was talking to me every day, Jim this, Jim that, Jim. Everybody's talking because I ain't really talk. So, he's so nice, he's so sweet. They were talking about religion one day, and it got to me. I said, watch this. I said, I studied Jehovah. The next day, they hated me. Like, they didn't want to work with me. They made the supervisor move me because they felt like, he studied Jehovah, he don't believe in God. Like, what? Like, so it just people
a very, very common misconception.
Right. And I tell people all the time, like I explain to them like Jehovah to me is like one of the most strongest religion because their belief is higher than, like I say, you see people out here every day walking into neighborhoods and doing what they're doing. I ask people, you say you go to this church. I say, have you preacher ever been to your house? Other than somebody passing or somebody sick? I said, these people don't know you, and they're coming to your house, knocking on your door to bring their spirit into you. People don't look at that. I said, how many Christians you see do that, walk door to door in the other religion? What is it? It's one more, the Mormons. I see them doing it also. And
it's a few other ones out there. The names are coming to mind, but it's a few more out there.
But to take that initiation, dedication, but people don't see more than Jehovah's Witness. They just how they live, and we get judged so much by that. And
I feel like that's more like back in the day with us, because I still have friends that are in the witness, worship and whatnot. They don't say that a lot of people are kind of like it's not as much stigma as it was with us back in the day.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things in the actual religion have changed back in the day.
Right.
I remember back when we were growing up, and it was frowned upon for any witness kids to play any sports in school or anything. I used to love playing basketball.
Yeah.
In junior high, I actually tried out twice, made the team both times, but couldn't play.
Right.
And the first time I was just trying out just to see if I could make the team.
Yeah.
I made the team, couldn't even play. The second year came around, I did something in the gym, and I messed up my ankle. And I went to the playoffs, not the playoffs, I went to the tryouts, and they still put me on the team because they wanted me on the team that bad.
Yeah.
But, nowadays, I'm here witness kids being able to be on teams. They're not as bad about having hair and all that kind of stuff, facial hair stuff like that. They're not that strict anymore. But it was still things that happened in the religion. I'm not even gonna say the whole religion, just that single congregation that I was in. I was just like, you know what? I'm cool on it.
Right.
Like, not saying that, you know, the witnesses are bad or anything like that. Because my mom is still a witness.
Right.
So, yeah, we put up with a lot of stuff growing up. I used to get picked at school a lot because of it. Like, somebody figured out I was a witness. Somebody I was dating figured out that I was a witness, and they didn't want to talk to me no more because they were like, "Oh, we're going to be unevenly yoked." And I was just like,
right.
I don't think that you really understand what that means.
Right. Right.
But yeah, like it's not to cut you off. Go ahead. What were you about to say?
I'm listening. No, it's like I remember when I first changed my rap name to Your God DTR. I was at McDonald's, and a girl came to me and said, I heard your CD. And she was like, and Dad was like, what's his name? What's his rap name? Because I need to listen to him. And she said, his name is Your God DTR. And her dad was like, you think you God? Like what? I said, God. I said, your God. I don't say God. I said, your God. And I say, what's the meaning of God? He didn't know I was like in tune with the Bible. Yeah. And I'll say, like, if you look in the dictionary and say a man with power, you know what I'm saying? It don't say Jesus Christ beside God. Yeah. It's what you believe in. And he was like, oh, shut up. You know what you're talking about. He walked right. And it's a preacher. He walked out from me.
It's so crazy that you say that because majority of the older people back then, if you question anything about religion, it was an issue.
Right.
It was a big, big issue. And that's another reason why, like, I kind of stopped going because...
Like you said, the congregation.
Yeah, it was just that one congregation. Yeah. Because it was one guy that I couldn't stand him. He was an older guy. I was a kid.
Yeah.
And he used to come and just tell me, like, just say all kind of off-brand stuff. And I was like, I told him straight up, dude, I don't like you. Like, I was being totally honest. I've been my authentic self ever since I was a kid, man. But, going back to the questioning things, anytime, like, you question anything back then, if you're, I'm not saying, you know, personally your family or anything like that, not even my family, but, if you question anything about, like, religion back then, they wanted you to take everything for fact.
Right.
Instead of you questioning it. And my whole thing about that is God gave everybody free will.
Right.
Meaning he gave you the ability to question.
Right.
So if he didn't want you to question anything, if he didn't want you to try to have a little curiosity to expand your knowledge of him, he would have never gave you free will in the first place.
Right.
So you can't sit up here and just be like, oh, we're not supposed to question this because questioning is exactly what he wants you to do.
Right, right. Exactly.
He wants you to go out there, get knowledge of him, become closer to him on your own accord, rather than you being like kind of pushed to do it.
Right.
So that's my stance.
And what you saying that, like I said, I studied Jehovah because the girl I was going to high school, her mother was big on Jehovah, and my grandma studied, but she was always like, I don't need you. I want you to see what it is in life before you make this. She would never force me to be. She let me see it from my perspective. She was like, because she know at the time I was a street guy.
Yeah.
And she was like, you have a gift about you. Learn what you want to be and what you want to study. So I just started studying all religion. I'm like, it's the same. It comes from the same book, basically. Exactly. So why is so much this, that, this, and the third, and people getting so mad about it when it's coming from the same book? And like, and people don't see it. It's all, and I looked at it like, it took me a long time to go to church. I like, they manipulate me. I don't care who, that's why I felt like they're telling me something, making me believe in this, but you get mad and I go my own route and see what I want to see for myself. It's like, and me now, that's how, if I feel like if I go to church, if I don't hear the word right, I'm not going to go back. If I don't hear strictly like you metaphor and talk about Beyonce or this time period now, I don't want to hear. I want to hear strictly how it is. And that's how Jehovah is strictly. It's in the Bible, and that's what people don't understand. People can preachers, anybody can manipulate your mind and believe something. It's like, and have you following, and you don't know because you're not ready to set your own path and believe what you want to believe. I think if the world was to learn for themselves, it's okay to go to church and learn, but if you know for yourself, you'll be a better person because you won't be just listening. You'll already know in yourself what it takes to get close to your father, whatever you believe in. But
yeah,
and I see that. And then another thing, like I noticed that you're in a relationship like me, the opposite, and like I get judged for that because where I'm from, they feel like, oh, you don't like this type, you don't like this. It's not that. It's like I don't judge nobody. That's back to Jehovah. I don't judge nobody for outside appearance. I judge for in your heart. So when people come to me like, oh, you dating white girl, like, man, what's wrong with it? Like we was in somewhere yesterday and we was in the LaGrange, in the hood part of LaGrange, the rough part. And we got in the car and I hear the door for it. Man, the girls, they were like, I just can feel the tension, like they want to kill me. Like what the? And I was like, do you get that? Like when you be out and about?
I'm gonna be totally honest, no.
Oh.
I don't. I don't get it because, for one, if you don't really know me for real, if you don't know what I've been through with people, not saying that I've been through things with black women that just turn me off of black women. Okay. My wife is the first white woman that I ever dated. Okay. Period. First white woman I ever dated. And it's not like I was like looking for a white girl. She just came into my life. Right. So that, and I'm not really just like looking for that type of energy from you. Right. Now, if you come to me with that energy, all right, cool. We can have a civil discourse. Call it. Right. But at the same time, I'm just gonna tell you exactly what I just said to you. I mean, do you know me from a hole in the wall? Exactly. If you don't know me from a hole in the wall, you don't know how long me and this person been together. Right. You don't know what brought me and this person together. Right. You don't know what our dynamic is and nothing like that. You don't know the people that I dated before this person. Right. And I feel like people prejudge a lot of interracial relationships and think that it's like that. Right. When most of them really aren't. I can see if like you know this person from all the way from like childhood. Right. That's the only person that they've been, you know, kind of attracted to. Right. But if that's who they're attracted to, that's just who they're attracted to. Right. It's not race. It's just what you're attracted to. Right. Preference. It's really no difference between somebody saying I don't want to date somebody who is this type of build. Right. Or I don't want to date somebody with this type of hair or anything like that. And I'll go a step further. Like, I get the only way that I would get that type of thought process is, like I said, if you know that person and if the person is known to talk down on black women. Right. I never talk down on black women. I don't talk down on any women, period. Because my mother's black. Exactly. My sister's black. Exactly. So how can I be against black women and my family is black? So I'm not even gonna say that. I'm just not even gonna talk. I don't talk down on nobody, period, unless you give me a personal reason to talk down about you. If you haven't given me a personal reason to talk down about you, then me and you cool. Right. But if you give me a personal reason to talk down about you, the personal reason ain't if we're black or not. Right. The personal reason is, all right, well, you did some flaw ass shit. I'm not even finna talk down about you to nobody else. Right. I'm gonna go tell you. Address that person like this I am. Personally, and then if we agree to disagree, we have a conversation and come down to it where it's just like, all right, well, I didn't look at it in that way. And I'm saying this from my part. That person might say something to me and I might be like, all right, well, I kind of see why you were, you know, act like that or the way that you are or why you would say something in that situation. But it might be the same adverse situation. Well, I didn't think about it like that, Brian. I'm sorry. Right. So I don't really look for that type of energy, like I said, from people. I know that it's out there. Right. Because look at the world that we're in. Exactly. And and I tell people all the time, it's like if you think how God thinks and live that way every day, not saying you gotta, like, I was a drug dealer. I did a lot of things. I did a lot of things, but every day, anybody who was around me, he always talks about God. Like, the guys in my organization, he always talks about God. For some reason, I tell them, no matter what you do, somebody's going to protect you. Or what I feel like that's why I beat a lot of odds in my life, because I had God. I don't judge. Like, I tell people when it comes to the race thing, I was raised, I knew my mom. I was my mom every day, but I was raised by a white lady. And so to see her take this black child here from the hood who cussing and fussing and kicked out of school every day, and she takes me in and show me this is what you gotta do to survive. Like this lady, my mama didn't give me the knowledge that this lady gave me. So I was fortunate to see the best of both worlds. Like
So with the hood brought to me, I saw what this side brought. Business wise, so I learned everything at one gumbo. I'm like, man, that's crazy. And my mom, she's so jealous of my white mom. She said I give her more attention. It's like, you stay in California. How can I give you attention that I give her and she's here? And it's like they didn't. And people always thought my white mom, my actual mom knew each other. They never met until I say it was like 2000 and I think 18. For the first time out of my whole childhood, they never met each other. But when they met for the first time, you would think they knew. Everybody thought at my daughter's birthday party, like they knew, like no, they were their first time meeting. Yeah, my daughter was 2 years old. Like,
how did that interaction go?
It was jealousy. Like they try to show I got like more attention for one. Someone like, oh yeah, Kyle. Like people came around, they gave this mom more attention, and this cry gave this mom more attention. Like I told my mom, like it's just the point that you moved to California in 2000 and they didn't see you. They saw this lady. They know me being with this lady, so that's why she got that vision of being my mom. And like people, they know that. Like my two sisters, like I have a black brother. Yeah, my nephew, he still called me uncle. He's like, he asked one day, "Why is Uncle Week black and you're white?" And it's he just. But he asked me, got old, like he was in high school, because he's like, I don't understand it. Like, but he never saw the color thing until he got to school and learned.
That shows, like, that goes to show, like, kids don't know race when they're that small.
Exactly. He just saw me as his uncle. Like, he just know our skin was the same color, but he didn't know. He always thought that his grandma gave birth to me. But until he got to school and learned the difference, so like, he questioned it. I know he's been wanting to question, but it took him all the way to high school to actually sit back and get the guts and say, how she's this color, you're that color. And we told him, like, oh, that makes sense. But to this day, he's still my nephew. But the world is so judgmental. And I feel like racism is stupid. It exists, but it shouldn't exist.
I feel like that, too. I feel like you have to be a little bit slow to be racist.
Exactly.
You have to be a little bit, not even a little bit. You have to be a lot slow to be racist. Because what's the point? Like, at the end of the day, if I cut my arm and you cut your arm, well, I mean, obviously we're gonna if I cut my arm and a white person cut their arm and a Chinese person cut their arm, we're all gonna bleed the same way.
Right.
So I don't get why people think that this race is better than this race, because maybe we all created equal. We might be different, but we're all created in his image.
Right.
So.
And that's what the world is really missing. Like it's crazy, and it's unacceptable to me, but it's just how it is, and that's what I want this program to be about. If somebody have any open topic to talk about it, that's why I call the show Let's Talk. Like how me and just him talking personally. That's how the whole idea of the show is, just get it out and let it go. And that's Let's Talk, and I'm gonna let him say what he gotta say. He got something to say before we end it.
Book a consultation to get some custom sneakers. That's what I'm telling you to do right now. Fly Pepper Customs, FPCSneakers.com.
Right. Yeah. What he just said. Exactly. He said a lot, but I won't put it on the screen so you can see where it is and link
right
into it. Yeah, right there. Where he said in his hand. You see it?